Hello everyone and welcome to Power Hour. I'm Laura Rogers and today's topic is going to be new SharePoint updates to the page editing experience. There's some new things to do with sections and web parts, and we're actually going to go over a lot of SharePoint updates that have been rolling out recently and that are upcoming any day now. So let's get started with the stinger. All right, so again, this is Power Hour, and this is a show that Joelle and I have been doing Wednesdays at 11 Central for about 11 years now. And Joelle is in a meeting today, so she's probably not going to be joining on video, but we'll go ahead and I'll be sharing my desktop and describing all these and showing you demos of them. So the way this works is it's fun, it's live, and we have a live chat going on in Teams. So wherever you're watching this video, there's going to be a link down below to request to join. So we have to invite you to Teams. And then in Teams, we have chat, and I have a bunch of notes that I made. So today I made a bunch of notes with Message Center updates. And that's just Microsoft's Message Center that has like the roadmap with all the things that are coming out and things that have come out. So I put a bunch of links to those in the tab called Notes in Teams, and those are the things we'll be going over. And some of the things have rolled out to my tenant already, and some will be any day now, but we're going to go ahead and talk about them anyway. I feel like if I waited until certain things were out in my tenant to do the Power Hour, then by the time I did that, there would be a few more things that I'd want to wait for, because things are constantly rolling out in Microsoft 365. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and kind of get going with this. Okay, so all right, and let me get that little box is where Joelle usually sits when she comes in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and hide that. Sorry. So if you all are not sure where the Message Center is, these are kind of the updates that I'll be going over. The Message Center is going to be when you're an admin in Microsoft 365 and you go to the Message Center just from the main admin homepage. And that's where you can get to this list that I'll be talking about and just all these kind of descriptions of things that I'll be going over. And I put links to them too, so that you'll be able to go read more about them. Okay, so here is Teams. And so when you join, you'll be in this team called Power Hour and the general channel. And the general channel has notes and it has tabs. So the notes are going to be where I put our notes and links each time we have Power Hour. I'm not sure what's taking so long for this to render. And here they are. So this is today's SharePoint page editing. I have a lot of links in there. Those are mostly to the roadmap. And then this is today's video. You can click the little conversation bubble to come over here and say hello and roll call. Hey, everybody. So we have a lot of people saying good morning. Hey, good to see you all. And so it's going to be fun. Kind of, you can follow along. You can open up your own SharePoint site and kind of take a look along with me at the things that we're going to be checking out. But we actually have this Power Hour site that we can look at, some of these things in. And so you all have access to this. I'll just go ahead and take the link and copy it and put it in the chat. And you all can go to the site if you want to and look at these things as I demo them. So first of all, let's go look at the notes. And one of the main things that I have noticed in here is the cool SharePoint section backgrounds on pages. So, and as we look at all these, so again, some of them will be there, some of them won't. I have several different tenants, so some things might be in some tenants and not others, but we're just going to be using this Power Hour tenant. So let's go ahead and go into this page editing experience and start taking a look at what some of these new features are, and we'll just start by creating a new page. So notice that Microsoft has been this is one of the things that we'll go over these new video templates. But I'll go ahead and just pick just one of these basic templates here. And so this is what the page editing experience looks like with just, this is not a new template. It's been around a long time. But here we have, you can see this is a text web part over here. And this is an image web part. And then this is the whole section going across. So this whole thing going across the page is the section that these two web parts are in. So this is this new setting we're talking about. So this is the background. And you can have your own section background. So I can go down the page. Let's see, I'll do this dark one, and then I'll go down to this next section and do kind of a lighter one. And then this is just a giant image. I'll leave that alone. And then here's another section where I can put this kind of colorful background. So as you can see, you can go down the page and create kind of a nice visual by having section backgrounds, so you don't have to have just a white background or a solid color. You can also add your own background. So let's go check this out. I'm not sure. I never know what's going to pop up when I click to add a file. So it's got recent images. I love the stock images. Stock images are a specific stock images, and web search will just search the whole internet for whatever search term you type. Site is going to be this particular SharePoint site. So I'll just go ahead and pick stock images for mine, and I'm just going to pick one of the ones on here. I'll just pick this wine glass. So I can change my background. Oops, I clicked change background again. So wine glass can be the background for this page. Let's see. Oh, and I can even advance edit it. So let me see if I can get that background, that wine glass back where it went. I'm not sure where it went. Okay, yeah, so this is the wine glass background. It's just, see how it's kind of faded and it's behind, it's obviously behind these two web parts, but you can see that it's got kind of, it's not very vibrant. So it's kind of got a faded setting to it. So I can edit this, look how cool. So I can edit the background. So even if I pick one of Microsoft's little background examples, or if I upload my own, I'll be able to edit it directly here. So I can crop this, adjust it, so I can change my brightness, exposure, contrast, saturation, and then I can put a filter on it. So it's got all these lovely filters, and I can even change the focal point. So maybe I want it to kind of be over here. It's also got a zoom level up here that I can adjust, and then I can just reset the whole thing. I can even save this or even save a copy of it as I'm doing these edits. So I'll just say save a copy. And then now it's saved it as a new copy. And so this is, so that was the change the background, lets you pick a new image. The edit, advanced editing pulls up the editor. You can delete it if I don't want this at all. And then I've got more settings. So this is why it's got this sort of faded look to it. So it has nothing to do, this faded look has nothing to do with the edits. It's going to be these more settings. So it says scale to fill, scale to fit. So notice the image isn't that big, but it was stretching it out. And then I can do tiles, which is kind of ugly. Original size, and I'll just say scale to fill. So that's going to fill it all the way across the page. And then here's the overlay color. So that's why it has that sort of look to it. It automatically had put the light overlay color on it by default. So that's where I can change the overlay, and I can even change. So each time I change one of these settings, I'm going to have different settings down below it. And you'll see that kind of pattern a lot in SharePoint, even especially with these web parts. Different settings will make other different settings appear. So for example, the fill mode, if I change it to scale to fit, I get all these different little alignment settings. And I'll leave it scale to fill, and then I don't have those. And then when I change the overlay color, Notice if I change it to light gradient, all these extra settings show down here where I can change the opacity and the gradient direction. But so again, just different settings are going to give me different other settings. And then I can make the whole section collapsible. That's not a new setting though. All right, so that is what background editing looks like now. Let me see, any comments or questions? Nope. Okay. Have y'all noticed this in your tenant? Is it kind of fun? Does it give you kind of a nice, some nice interesting ways that you can make your pages look? Yep. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I'll publish that. Oh, I gotta add a title to it. Say demo page sections and publish that. And so you all will be able to see that if you want to go to it. I'll put it in the chat. Okay, well, if you missed it, Ed, you can click on that link and then you can go take a look at what I did. It was in that second web part. Okay, so then some other things that you can do now that have just rolled out on pages. I'll go back into edit mode. Here's the text web part. They've made enhancements to what we can do with the text web part. So you'll notice, oh, Joelle said some of the graphics are a little odd. Yeah. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. So I'll say, I'll go to my notes, and I actually wrote down kind of what it has in this text web part. So I put a link here. It says text web part enhancements, new fonts, bullet styles, and numbered list styles. And there's this new way you can edit images in the text web part and in the image web part. So let's go over just some of these other options here. So I can change a font size. So it says that now I can type a font size. So instead of just picking one of the ones that are in the list, I can just type a new one. And then I can make a list. And then it says I can change my list level style. So this is what's new here. So we're just had a disk before. Now I can change it to a circle or a square. So when I see things like this in SharePoint, I'm assuming that these are things that users needed, and they're building pages and they needed to have a way, and they asked for this, and they needed to have a way to make some of these lists and numbered lists look a little better, just like in Word and other products. And so let's do a numbered list. And then see, so notice you have alphabetical. You could do ABC, Roman numerals, etc. And you can get very specific at what number the list starts at, just like in Microsoft Word. So let's go ahead and look at some of these image. Here's the image web part. So since we already have an image web part on the page, I'll just use the one that's here, and then we'll also look at what you can do in images in the text web part. I'll go ahead and show you. It's right here. It's the shape. So the shape is what's new. So you do have a lot of things that you can do when you're editing these images with like cropping it and things like that and doing a text overlay. But the shape is what's new. So first of all, I'll go ahead and add an overlay just to see so you can see what it looks like. I could resize it or crop it if I wanted to, but let's go look at the shapes. So the original circle, so when you do a circle, it still keeps the overlay there. Let me see. Oh, okay. Catherine said the Wave evaluation tool didn't pick up on a contrast error of a terrible font color on the background image. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so it's got an overlay. So with the overlay, it just changes it to that shape behind the overlay. Circle, triangle, square, and it's got kind of rounded corners, hexagon, pebble, that's interesting, and teardrop. So I'll leave it on the pebble. And then this one down here, change that to a square. That looks really odd, doesn't it? So yeah, that thing's huge because it stretches all the way across the page. And notice when I change the shape, now it says the crop and aspect ratios are disabled. So I'll put it back to original, and now I could crop it if I wanted to. But when you have a shape on it, the crop goes away. Interesting. Okay. So that's what it looks like with a shape and an overlay. So now let's go look in the text web part. I'll add an image. And I'll just do another stock image of a cloud, of course, right? Here's my cloud. And then here is the ability to have this cool shape. So I can change the shape, and then some of the same things I can do. I can edit this. I can give it some alt text, give it a hyperlink. I can pick another image, do a text overlay, just like with the image web part. And I can change my alignment, so I can align the whole thing left. And then I can do advanced editing, just like the one I showed you a minute ago with the background, the section background. And then also you can do this with the image web part. So it's the same exact settings here. So crop, adjustment, filter, and even markup. I can highlight it. Okay, so then I can save that. And there is my marked up image in the text web part. Let's see. You can do a lot. One of the big things about the text web part is that if you have data, if you have information just in a Word document, some other file in another Microsoft product, you can just copy and paste it. When you paste it from a Word document, it is going to get images and bring it all in, and it's pretty identical to the way it's going to look when you use that functionality. They've worked hard because they don't want Microsoft doesn't want people to have to spend time rewriting a bunch of content if they've already written it in Word, so you can just copy and paste it over. Lisa said the joys of 508 compliance. Yeah, that's fun stuff. I'll republish that. So those are some of the main ones that I knew that were going to be in my tenant, and that we'd be able to try out. So let's go look at some of the other things. And this is going to be, definitely one that we just saw is going to be the new video page templates. So I like doing training. I'll just pick training here, and I'll click create page. And let's see what our training video web part looks like. So it's telling me to select a video. And I know I had put some videos in here when we were doing a demo of a library or something, but I'm not sure if they're still there. So I don't know if I want to spend time uploading a video to this site just for this demo. Yeah. So here are some. Oh, this is an AI video that I created. That's a fun one. I'll just upload that one. It's me, AI me. It looks kind of weird, but yeah. If you all can, I'll go ahead and publish this, and you all can take a look at it. So test video training. That looks very different than kind of the template of other pages. So now I've published it. You all can go look at it. It's in the list of pages on this site, and let's go look at some things we can do with it. All right, so here's my video, my really weird AI video of me talking. So really what it's done is it just created this stream web part on a page, and it's just got a couple of other web parts. This is going to be a quick links web part, and then just some text and people, and just, so really it's just kind of giving you ideas of how you can lay out a page when you put the video on it. So Yeah, that is a video template, video page template. I'll go back home. Let me see if I can, yeah, I'll go click on that again. Isn't that weird? Okay, so that's my AI test video. All right. What else do we have? Let me look at my notes. Okay, so we went over video page templates, section backgrounds. It says there are new heading level options for pages. So let's just create a new blank page, just completely blank. And instead of starting off with a bunch of stuff on the page, just kind of get a chance to poke around here. Test blank. So what it's saying is that when this new title area rolls out, the new title web part rolls out, new banner web part rolls out, then you're not going to have this title area here. So this is going to not be required. And then instead of this, it's going to be the banner web part. So you'll be able to remove this whole thing. And then, so I put this in the notes, and it'll be rebranded as a banner web part with new layouts. So you'll be able to add one or more banners even to any given page. So let's try, it says there are more new title options. So let's see, I've got documents here, and it really is just, yeah, it still has my same just ability to type here. So this doesn't look like it has any new title functionality. So all the web parts, as you're going down the page, any web parts that you add, they're going to have a title. So like here's the, I'll put a quick links. And so you've always just been able to type here. And so what they're saying is that you're going to have new options now for being able to have like different headers. So heading level options for web parts. And that's going to be that third thing that I put on the list. Apply shapes to images, banner web part. So there's also going to be, I'll go ahead and publish this. This one's kind of boring. Another I'm really excited about this one. And I was really hoping that it would be there already and rolled out in my tenant. But you're going to have a brand new SharePoint start page experience here. So when you are just on any SharePoint page in your tenant and you click SharePoint at the top, this is what it's looked like for years. It's just kind of got a list of your sites. It's got a list of some news that's been published, and just frequent sites you go to, and your site's listed down the left. Well, this whole experience is going to look different. So let me just pull up the message center that I was looking at when I was looking at these. So here's what I did. I just went to the message center, and this is just in the admin center. And I went to the message center and I just typed SharePoint here. So let me zoom in a little. And so this is where I was looking at these updates. So the one that I'm talking about, the new start experience, looks very cool. So this is where it's got kind of descriptions and pictures of what it's going to look like. So you can see right now it has those web parts down the left side, but the way it's going to look like on the right is going to be the big improvement. So it's going to say create beautiful pages quickly. And just like, what do you want to create today? And then it's going to have, it's really kind of walking you through that experience of creating pages, creating sites, and making them look lovely. So does anyone use the SharePoint homepage? That is a great question, Lisa. Does anyone, what do you all think? Maybe they don't use it because it's kind of boring and ugly, and maybe they will use it more. So here's what I do. You let me know if you all ever go there. But I use the SharePoint homepage when I want to search for something quickly. So usually when I'm working in SharePoint, I'm in a library or I'm in a list, and I think, oh, I need to go find this XYZ file. And if you just go to the search box directly on, and I'll just show you an example. I'll go to this marketing site. If you just go straight to the search box, if you're in a library, first of all, it'll just search within the library. And if you're on the home page, it's just going to search the site that you're on. But if you know that you want to search somewhere outside of the site you're on, you can just click on SharePoint, and then that's where you can go search through all. When you search here, it searches through all of SharePoint. Benefits, like that. So this is going to take me wherever in SharePoint that those files exist. So then I've got, it takes me to Welcome to Contoso Benefits, which is a site. And then I've got, so I'm going to show you an example of just real quick, this search concept. You don't have to go to SharePoint here to be able to search everything. But once you start searching and finding things, you'll be able to drill back upwards in when you get, I'm trying to get it to do like more. Yeah, it won't see, it doesn't even have like a more or other places listed here. So when I'm in a list, that's actually a pretty confusing interface. So if I go back to the home page and type test, then I'm just searching through this this hub and this site, and then this is where I can drill back up to my organization. So as you can see, it's a lot more clicks. If you're just working in a list or library, it's a lot more clicks to get to search through the whole organization. But if you just click the SharePoint button at the top, then whatever search you do at the top will be through everything. So that was kind of a long explanation, but yeah. Susan, oh, let's see. If you have turned off Create Sites, what will users see in the new Start experience? Well, I have turned off Create Sites here in the Power Hour tenant, and it just says Create News Post. So that's a good question. I'm not sure if they've accounted for that. They've accounted for it in just the default buttons that have always been there. But I guess we'll see when it rolls out if they've accounted for if people aren't allowed to create sites. Surely they have, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. Search quickly from SharePoint Home. That's what you do too. And teach users to follow sites. That's good. The little star at the top right. Oh, wow. You took Agnes's search class. Man, yeah, search is a whole, yeah, that's a whole full-time job. That's a big, there's a lot to it, right? So, okay. So the next thing that I had in the notes, let me go back to my notes. And again, I was just looking through this message center. So we don't have heading level options out. We have, should put checkboxes on there. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. The new banner web part, we talked about that. The search experience, the section level content align. I think I saw that in there. So let me double check that one. Section level content align. So I'm going to search for section. And I already have this narrowed down to SharePoint Online. So section background, section level content align. So you're going to see, oh, this new button over here. So we can go look to see if that's in SharePoint in that, that example that I was just showing. So let's go look at just whatever this page is. So it doesn't have to be a brand new page, by the way. It can be a page that's already existed. So I've got my section here, and here's what it's talking about. So I have top, center, and bottom. So if I'm on this section over here on the right, this is my right hand up and down section. See how it's moving things. And then this section over here should, anything I do should apply to that one. Not sure why it's only applying to one. I'll go down here and add another section. And then add a web part real quick. Okay, so then the things in the sections, yeah, see how I'm moving it top, center, bottom? that button over here. Yeah, so that's another new feature. So it's like, it's kind of almost random, all the kind of little things here and there, but you can see that they're doing a ton of improvements to SharePoint just overall. And there's a lot of exciting SharePoint, like the new brand center is coming out. Have you all tried that before? I started playing with the new brand center. Now, I wasn't ready necessarily to do a whole power hour about this because all it has in it so far is just fonts. So I was kind of waiting for more stuff to be in here. So that is going to be upcoming and have its own separate power hour. Another thing that we have is, and that's listed here, the exact thing that I was just talking about with the custom fonts. So if your organization thinks fonts are really, really important and you need to have, if you have a very strict marketing department that needs to have custom fonts for everything, for all of your logos and materials, then, and they're going to want to have custom fonts for all the SharePoint pages. So you are going to be able to upload your own custom fonts in there and be able to push that out to all your pages. Let's see, I'm going to put this back on my SharePoint. Yeah, so that's where you can look to find all that. And that's kind of as many things that I could find that have been rolled out so far. We looked at the new pages, the page templates. There's new playlist support for the stream web part. One more thing that's a SharePoint update that is not really related to pages and web parts like we've been talking about, but since we have some extra time, let's go see if I have this add approvals to any list. So we actually did a whole power hour about this already, where you have, let me just publish this again, where you have certain lists that had approvals built in. So when you go to new list, we did a power hour about having, it was a travel request versus travel request with approvals. And then you have content scheduler and then content scheduler with approvals. So if in your organization, what's going to happen is these second version of these is going to go away, and then everything is going to have the ability to have approvals. Now that is not arrived yet in my tenant, but that's something for you all to look out for when you notice that you don't have the two different copies of those two special ones anymore. That means that every single list that you create is going to have that. So we can go look at the message center real quick and see what it said about that. Let's see. No, I'll just skip. Well, let me see. Let me just see what it says. Approvals. Add approvals to any SharePoint list. It says it's from April, so, but it doesn't really. Users were able to configure approvals by going to the automate dropdown from the command bar in SharePoint online list. Oh, okay. We can go give that a shot. So let's go to a list. Oh, okay. Oh, actually, I actually customized. Remember we were customizing the buttons the other day? I actually customized the buttons in this list. That's why they look so weird. So we go to a different view of it. Okay, automate. Oh, look at that. It has rolled out. Cool. Okay, so I can choose configure approvals now. I'm going to be adding that to the training soon. And then I can choose enable approvals. Wow. Oh, this is very cool. What do you all think about this? Have you all noticed this? Has this appeared in your tenant? Or, I mean, I wouldn't have known to look for it. That's cool. Oh yeah, Kathy Dude demoed it. Yeah, that, I don't doubt it. She's been working hard on that stuff. That's all right, Susan. How can you manage and administer approvals in your tenant? Is there an approvals center? No. There's some dynamics stuff with approvals, but it has nothing to do with SharePoint. So yeah, no, there isn't a way to just manage it at the tenant level. Now, so I've turned on, Oh, okay. Here's where it says request approval. So I would go click on something and I have request approval here. And I can say, here's the name of the item. I can say Joelle. Maybe Joelle can approve this for me. And if I put multiple people here and I need them all to respond, I do that. And these are the same settings from when we did the Power Hour about how these approvals work. So now it says creating approval request, and maybe I'll create one and send it to myself for approval. That's taken a while. This is that list where I was testing having a really large list. Okay, so it says approval request created. And that has sent that to Joelle. So it looks like let's go find another list in here and just double check. Let's see, I've got, yeah, that's a really big list. Let's go just to the recruitment tracker. So I go to automate, configure approvals, enable approvals, apply. And so you don't have to do that when you're creating a new list. You don't have to pick the ones that have the word approvals in the name. I have heard that those options do get removed from the new list, the screen that I just showed you a few minutes ago, but mine just haven't been. So I think that that's also coming with this new setting. So then so I showed what it looks like when you click a row and choose request approval. I can also click the ellipsis on that item and choose request approval, and I'll just send it to myself. Let's see, I've got the Power Hour. I don't even remember my name. There I go. So many different tenants. All right, so I'll put myself as the approver. Okay, and submit that. So where does that go? It's probably going to send me an email and a Teams pop-up. So it hasn't popped up yet though. So then how can I tell what's going on? Look at that. So as soon as I turn on approvals, it adds this new column, just like when we did the demo before. It says requested, and then I can click the little button on it and it shows me that it's pending. Also, let's go back. I'll go back to the other list where I sent one to Joelle, and I was on this closed issues tab when I turned the setting on. So this is the view that it put the new column in. So whatever view that you're on, when you turn on the approval setting, that's where it's going to add the column. But it's just a column that you can add to any view. So let me let me hide some of these other columns just because I don't need them. Just want to look at approval status. And this one says requested. And it says Joelle approved it. So I don't know if you all remember this. When I tested it before, it actually took a while for this to change to say approved. So it took like a few minutes. But yeah, it shows she has already approved it. This little button just hasn't refreshed it. Now it says approved. So now the question is, if I send this to Joelle, can I approve it? Okay, don't approve it yet, Joelle. So I sent it to her, and then it says requested. And okay, so notice that I sent it to her, so there is no button. I can't click approve. She can click approve, and all I can do from here is cancel it since I'm the one that kicked it off. So now I'll go look at Teams and see if it sent me anything. Maybe it's in approvals. Where's approvals? Oh, there it is. Okay. I think we did a whole other Power Hour about this too. Yeah, so this was the title of the thing that I sent that I requested for myself to approve. And then, so I can see it here in approvals, and that's the same list of approvals that you see when you go to the main Power Automate screen and you go click on approvals on the left to see your own approvals. This is the exact same list. So this is, you're going to see the same list of items here. So that's where I can go, and then I can go back to, I'll go ahead and just approve it. I can approve it here, or I can just go back to SharePoint. Oops. Go back to my recruitment tracker. And let's see, here's the one that's requested. And since it's requested for me, I actually have more buttons here since I'm the approver. I'll go ahead and approve it. All right, so now that one's approved and I get a little Teams notification pop up. All right, any other interesting SharePoint updates that you all, oops, that's my email, that you all are aware of that, let's see, get back to that, okay. Oh, let's see what Lisa has to say. Did I also get an email in Outlook? Let me see. I probably did. Ooh, maybe not. No, this is all just like my little fake account that I don't use. And no, I didn't get an Outlook email. I only got a Teams pop-up. But the thing about approvals is sometimes the Outlook email takes much longer than the Teams pop-up. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get one. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. You would think I would have gotten one by now. Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So that was, let me flip back over to the other view here. That was a lot of fun. So that was just really a recap of a lot of things that have been rolling out in SharePoint lately, especially with the page editing experience with some different web parts and sections. And then also just a couple of things that have not quite rolled out to my tenant yet with the new Start experience. And so I can't wait to see what happens with like the new brand center Start experience and how some of those things are going to look. So just keep an eye out for those, and you'll be able to create such lovely pages in SharePoint from now on. So thanks everybody for coming, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. You can go to iwmentor.com and click schedule at the top to find out when the next Power Hour is going to be. It's usually Wednesdays at 11 Central, and check out all of our training courses on SharePoint, Power Apps, and more. So you all have a good day. Over and out.